Welcome to Charts Today. My name is David Linton, and today's edition for Wednesday, the 25th of April, comes to you from London. Dollar just a bit flat the last day or so, but still looking bullish in the short term. These targets in place. Medium term, we're above the cloud on the price for the first time in a little while. Lagging line has a little bit more work to do, but we are seeing an improvement in the dollar overall, and that means, of course, that the euro is weaker and downside targets there in place back to 120. Japanese yen, we're seeing the dollar strength still showing through here, just starting to look like it's about to break the cloud as well. Sterling is below the 140 level against the US dollar, with downside targets lower still, so sterling is falling away, and we are seeing against the euro, sterling is flat. So it's all about dollar strength, really. And then Forex, the Swiss franc sterling, we're seeing much the same situation. And Australian dollar sterling is a bit higher, so Aussie dollar just a bit weaker on that short-term chart. Bitcoin broke the $9,000 level yesterday. It's come back a little bit this morning, down 2%, but is looking stronger. And again, we are seeing some medium-term action on the cloud as well. A shortage of clear upside targets. That's the one concern I have there. Keep an eye on the 1-minute charts if you're trading Bitcoin. The S&P 500 index was down yesterday, so US stocks just having another lurch down. Not clear that we're seeing a recovery in the US market, and we saw the Nasdaq down 2%, so really seeing stocks just falling away here. So it really does look like this turmoil is leading to a change of trend. The Dow Jones also lower and back to bearish below the cloud, and the Russell 2000 was down not as much, down about 0.6%, but it is a bit worrying to see the market selling off, and the futures down 0.25% on the S&P, and the Nasdaq E-mini down 0.25% as well. So it does suggest that US markets will open lower again today. UK market not open yet, but it was looking quite good yesterday. But the future is suggesting that we will go lower with the FTSE 100, and the FTSE 250 probably also will head lower as well. The DAX also just selling off slightly this morning, and the CAC 40 also. So we're just seeing markets following the US lower, as you might expect. Most Asian markets opened down about 1% overnight, but recovered somewhat, closing. Japan actually recovered most of its loss overnight. The Hang Seng index was down about 1%, and the Chinese market down about 0.5%. Still a little bit of a worry on this market. The Sensex was up overnight, it was down just very slightly, and the Australian market, of course, was closed for the holiday Anzac Day in Australia. Brent crude was down slightly yesterday, just having nudged above the 75 level. Does look like we might be making a short-term trend transition. No clear downside targets though, so any trend change might be short-lived. And we're seeing WTI also now heading lower below the cloud. US nat gas sitting at 277, and just really struggling to break out of this level that we've seen now for a good 3 months. Taking a look at gold, gold weaker again this morning, down 0.5%. So we are still bearish below the cloud, heading lower on gold. That stronger dollar not helping, and silver also lower below the cloud. US 10-year Treasury yields broke 3% yesterday, sitting at 3.01%. So we're seeing the bond market really suffering as a result now. And if we look at the German bond, for example, we've had a trend of several years and now clearly broken. So that's just showing how bond prices are falling, of course, the yield going up, the price falling. And Apple lower again, quite a worry on Apple looking lower. Amazon was down quite significantly, down some 3.8%. Google also was down significant. We're seeing US tech really heading lower, so it's not a good sign for the tech majors there. Um, Facebook back below 160, so bearish still there, and Microsoft also, one of the star performers of the tech majors, just starting to turn bearish on the short-term chart. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.